Christine from A Naturally Balanced Dog, and today we are going to talk about grains, whether to feed or not feed your dog. But before we get there, I want to welcome you to my channel. Here I cater to both fresh feeders and dogs that have allergies and offer a healthy solution through alternative testing, diet, supplements, and herbs. I'm a longtime health nut and foodie. I've been working in the food and health industry for over 6 years, as well as working with dogs for the past 20 years. I'm a fresh feeder for my own dogs, of which there have been 9, and have helped thousands of pet owners to convert to fresh feeding for the well-being of their pets. You can visit my website at A Naturally Balanced Dog and learn more about our services, which is allergy testing through hair analysis for food, environment, heavy metals, and nutritional deficiencies. We also offer meal plans, which we help to create recipes for you to make at home, which meet NRC standards, and have a membership for those which has over 100 different raw and cooked recipes for you to make for your dog. And so let's go ahead and get started about grains. So grains are a hot topic, and depending upon what food module you feed, some people will be dead set against feeding grains to their dog because they feel that there is absolutely no nutritional value for dogs because they're carnivores. This is supported because they don't have the enzyme amylase, which breaks down carbohydrates in their saliva like humans do. We have the amylase. As soon as we put food in, it begins its digestive process. However, dogs do have the ability to produce a small amount of amylase through their pancreas. Other digestive enzymes or other enzymes that are used for digestion is protease, which breaks down meat and eggs. And then you have amylase. And amylase, as I mentioned, breaks down carbohydrates, and lipase, which breaks down fat. However, like anything, there are always two sides to the story. And so you can add supplements and even add foods that are natural in enzymes like raw honey, mangoes, and bananas to your dog's food. Those are some options for you. So let's touch a little bit about grain-free diets and dog foods. So grain-free diets exclude commonly used grains like wheat, corn, rice, sorghum. These grains are replaced by legumes, which are your lentils, peas, white potatoes, and sweet potatoes, which are high in fiber and also have other nutrients. But to even make things more confusing about grain-free diet is the study that was done that talks about how grain-free diets cause heart disease. And so my take on this is there just really is not enough information. They really don't have the answers, and I don't think is as simple as is just not feeding a grain-free diet. So in my opinion, pet parents don't feed grain to their dogs usually because of allergies or allergy symptoms, which include digestive issues, skin and coat issues. They may also not be feeding grain due to weight management, or maybe their dog even has diabetes. So those are some reasons why people would not be feeding grain. These conditions are exacerbated, as far as I'm concerned, due to GMOs that are in our dog's food, which have high pesticides and chemicals that contaminate the poor quality ingredients in our dog's food, and therefore we see these health issues. As a pet parent, I think we all want the best for our dogs, so making the right choice is essential for all of us. The reality is grains do have a nutritional value, and when one dog eats a piece of grass, their body doesn't say, oh, that's a piece of rice. I can't eat that. Rather, what it does is it breaks it down and it begins to recognize proteins, fats, carbs, amino acids, and minerals. And or it goes into the gut, gets digested, and the body takes what it needs and discards the rest. With that being said, not all dogs are the same, and some dogs don't do well on grains, and some dogs do fine on small amount of grains. And as a fresh feeder, I do add grains to some of my dog's food. One, because I found that it helps with one of my dogs who always got the hunger pukes. So raw food digests very quickly in our dog's systems, and sometimes their stomach will develop acid, and they get that foamy puke in between meals. And so instead of giving my dogs famotidine or Pepcid for their acid stomach, I do add some grains, which adds a little substance, and it lasts longer. It takes longer to digest, and as a result, my dog doesn't puke. I also have a super skinny dog that I'm struggling with trying to get weight on her. And so I did have to add some carbs to her diet, and she is slowly gaining weight. Another reason why some people might add grains is because they are on a budget, and if you are a fresh feeder and you want to stretch that dollar out, then adding some grains can help with that. The reality is adding grains is better than going to a commercial diet because you get to choose the quality of the grains that you feed. In other words, you can get organic, or you can choose one grain over the other because your dog does better. Being able to select yourself and choosing the quality of the ingredients makes a big difference. There is a difference between the grains that you buy and add to your dog's food versus the grains that are found in the bagged dog food. Bagged dog food is very high in carbohydrates, and in some cases over 60%, which is absolutely ridiculous amount of carbs to be putting into a food. However, the average bagged dog food is really about 40 to 47. Still high for a carnivore, but the reality is, as you can see, dogs have been eating carbs for a while. Although carbs can be causing issues, but in other cases, not always. So we want to select based on the individual dog, which I think is the most important piece here. So if I add a 1/4 cup of millet into my dog's food, I feel that's very minimal in comparison to some of the commercial brands. And if I choose to add foods that help with digesting carbohydrates or giving them supplements to help it break down, even better. Another option to feeding grains is something that is called ancient grains. And so if you didn't catch my previous video on the 2 best things that you could do for your dog, then I would highly recommend that you go back and listen to it and learn a little bit about rice. But I tend to stick to ancient grains rather than the cereal grains because the cereal grains are more refined. They are like your white rice, your wheat, your flours. They are also more likely to be foods that are higher in GMOs and sprayed with pesticides, glyphosate, and other chemicals which can be harmful and cancer causing. So I tend again to stick to those ancient grains which are higher in protein. They have a higher amount of fatty omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin B, and zinc, and they're a good source of fiber. Ancient grains, like whole grains, absorb slowly into the body. And so what are ancient grains? Ancient grains include quinoa, azmarine, millet, sorghum, farro, barley, chia. Those are probably some of the common ones, and they're called ancient grains because they're grown the same way as they have been for hundreds of years. Millet, for example, which I like to utilize, is a good source of protein. It's rich in magnesium and phosphorus, which helps to strengthen the bones. It's good in vitamin B, iron, which helps to maintain energy levels and the overall health of your dog. And it's also easier to digest than other grains like wheat. Quinoa is another one of my favorite. It's a very hearty grain. It offers a very wide range of amino acids. It supports a healthy and shiny coat, healthy teeth, nails, and strong bones. It's high in fiber and is a good source of antioxidants that support the metabolism as well as blood sugar levels and brain function. I actually prefer pearl barley over brown rice, although brown rice has over 5 times the amount of B9, which is folate and vitamin E. But barley has twice the amount of calcium and fiber and has 30% fewer calories. The two are equivalent when it comes to protein and the fat content, but barley is more readily digestible and it's very satisfying and helps to keep hunger at bay. So if you have dogs that are overweight and you're reducing the amount, then adding something to like barley into your dog's food can help with those hunger pains. So if you have dogs that are sensitive to gluten, then azmarite or millet, they are both gluten-free. So those are some good options for you. So it's important to remember that both ancient grains and grains or whole grains are carbohydrates, so they should only make up a small portion of your dog's meal. So carbohydrates may not be the most important part of your diet, but like protein, they do provide a good source of nutrients and energy. So dogs are carnivores and they love that protein, but again, adding a little bit of ancient grains and or grains into your dog's fresh food is an option for fresh feeders. So if you're interested in having a recipe prepared for you, you can again go to the Naturally Balanced Dog, and we offer a meal plan which we take in personalized information on your dog and customize those meal plans specifically towards your dog's age, breed, and health conditions. So thank you for visiting the channel. Please like, subscribe, and share the videos. It helps the channel grow. I'm new, kind of starting out here, so I appreciate your support. Thank you very much.